Okay guys, welcome back to the channel, and we are here with Xdefiant. And look, we're going to go through some good, some bad and some ugly on this game. We're going to give my honest opinion on what I found after the first weekend of season 2. And we also have some news from the CEO of Ubisoft. They reference Xdefiant. The article from Inside Gamer has been there. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description in this video. But look, if you are new or a returning viewer, get involved. We're just about at that 500 subscriber mark. Hit the like, hit the sub. Let me know down in the comments how you're currently getting on in Xdefiant, and what other games are you playing, and what other content are you listening to, and what do you enjoy in Xdefiant. Maybe we can cover it all on this channel. But look, I just want to say videos are coming a little bit late to the channel with Xdefiant, as I'm working on this new content, and I'm just trying to make sure it's refined and it's ready and it can be the best it can be. But anyway, let's get into it. Xdefiant. Okay, to be really honest, I think season 2 has had great content added. I think it's amazing. I think the Highwaymen are great. I think it's a great addition. I think Bomb is absolutely amazing, and they've really knocked it out of the park with that. I'm happy to see some of the fixes they brought in, some of the adjustments to the faction characters and also to the attachments, just to give a more of a balance to the game. But with that came its own problems. As I mentioned in my other video, and if you hadn't got a chance to check that out, go check it out. There's just been a lot of issues. Kill trading is a big one. Still getting people with high ping in my lobbies. There's a lot of cheaters that are using, the echelon with the phantom passive. There's all of this stuff going on. And now what I found when I was playing on Sunday, and I played for a while, was that I found that the hit rate was so bad is that in my deaths I was getting hit 50 damage as I respawn, which was absolutely just mind-boggling. And I thought it was like a once-off thing, but it wasn't. And I'm going to show you evidence of this as well. Also, there's been problems with the Ubisoft Connect. I've never played Occupy, which you can see me on playing here. And essentially it says if you win 3 games of Occupy, you'll get the 50 kind of gold coins on the Ubisoft Connect app. And you can then go in and purchase some rewards for Xdefiant, which was, I wanted the Battle Pass booster. And I had 10, but when I completed the challenge and played Occupy, I only got 10, but it said I would have got 50. So I wasted my time there because that's not working. And then there's a lot of challenges saying to get like 1,000 kills with an AR. I've done that, which is just the challenges for Xdefiant, by the way. I've actually checked all of them and they're not tracking. My faction unlock is not tracking to unlock the 3rd and 2nd characters. Still a problem since launch. But let me just get through this part with you. This is the most major part of the video. So I die here, and that's fine. It's no problem. It's a legit kill with the ultimate. It was the saw launcher, okay? But my problem is I respawn. You can see the hit marker. For some reason, I'm like, oh, there's a hit marker. Hit marker still there. So there's a delay. And I'm moving. You can see there's nobody there. And boom, I'm hit. 50% health gone. So I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, there obviously has to be somebody over here who tried to hit me. But how quickly that health went down. It wasn't gradual. And usually that's a hit that would look like a sniper hit, where you just get cracked straight away. So I'm moving and there's nobody there. And then to my surprise, every like 6 or 7 kills I got and then I die, it happened again. And then it happened for about 5 games straight. And I played today and it happened again. And I'm just like, what is going on? Also on that note, I got locked at 60 frames per second. When I'm on PC and my frame rate should be at 120, and just a massive drop in those again. And I had to reset the game 3 times before my frames would actually go up to the custom level that I put it at. And I was just having terrible issues with that. And let me know down in the comments if that was something that was happening to you guys. I know a lot of you said in the last video the frame rate was a big problem for you guys. There was a huge drop in it as well. But yeah, it seems like to be a big issue. Now we're going to move on to the article that was put out about the CEO of Ubisoft. And what that basically says is it goes through a couple of the games, which is the Assassin's Creed Shadows getting delayed to 2025. And then it says that, they had a problem with the revenue. Okay, so they reduced the quarterly revenue expectations by 30%, which is the 4th quarter, because it was in a massive bombshell hit Ubisoft in the last quarter. And there's been questions about Star Wars Outlaws, and then it does say that a lot of the revenue decrease was down to the underperformance of Star Wars Outlaws, but there is issues behind the expectations of Xdefiant that has fell behind to a low standard as well, and to a much lesser extent, which I think is a load of shit, but it has impacted the lower expectations for Xdefiant, and that's just the way it is. Now I'm going to leave a link to this in the description so you can go check that out yourself. But to see this and see the underwhelming performance of Xdefiant, it wasn't a surprise. Look, we covered it. I still think it's a great game that has huge potential, but we just have to call it the way it is. We can't get in our heads and say, well, I love the game and you're all the shitting on it and nobody cares about your opinion, because that's your experience. And I get it. If you're having a good experience, you must obviously assume that other people are having a good experience. But it's not. The majority of people are not having a good experience. And on the point that I wanted to make, which is a video that I covered, was they gave away in September to the lead up of Xdefiant was like free battle passes and X coins. And in this part, it actually confirms what I thought during that time was it wasn't for the players who were playing it. It was to pull players back in who were maybe on the fence or wanted to play Xdefiant but just had a bad experience and never come back. And they wanted to boost those players to log in. You didn't even have to play the game, just log in, because they were in turmoil about the player numbers dropping. And we kind of got confirmation on that, and it does go on to say that it was in dire needs and it was possibly going to lose post-launch support, and it had to be turned around by the end of season 3. We all know that, and they couldn't hold up the 20,000 concurrent players, blah blah blah. We all went through that, but inside the game it understands that the game fell below 200,000 and the daily activity users in 24 hours throughout August, but saw a 40% daily average uptick throughout its daily reward program. While good on paper, players spending a continuous player engagement to answer to prevent the game from going on live support at the time of writing, Xdefiant leadership still hopes that season 3 will be the start of bringing players and their wallets back. Okay, so what that means is that yes, they did it just for the engagement. It wasn't to, you know, say thank you to the current player base. Well, in a sense it kind of was, but like, you were already there, so you just get it anyway. It was a cherry on the top for players like me and you who continue to play it. But it was an incentive to bring players back, that you had enough coins to buy either the battle pass or the faction unlock for the highwaymen in season 2 to help you engage in the game. And that is not a good thing for a game to do. We just have to be honest with it. They basically give away either the battle pass or the highwaymen faction for free, because nobody wants to engage in the store because they're well overpriced, and the game satisfaction and the game's playability is not good enough to justify you paying $15 to $20 or up to $60 on packages, or euros or sterling, wherever you are, on packages within Xdefiant when you're having a bad experience. And I will say the majority of players are probably having a bad experience. And it's not about dying, it's not about losing, it's about actual in-game problems that I just mentioned recently. A lot of people having problems with their frame rate, high volume of kill trading, that's affecting everybody. None of my faction characters unlock after the second one. None of the challenges track. The Ubisoft Connect tracking challenge is not working correctly either. Battle Pass XP isn't being added to the Battle Pass for a really long time, and then you go back in and then all of a sudden the Battle Pass XP is there. Weapon XP, I noticed as well, was not adding. I completed the game with double XP. I think I got 27 for 11, which should have gonna got me up 4 ranks, didn't go up, and then in the next game I went up like 10 ranks because there was a delay in adding that XP. If there's a delay in adding the XP, there's a delay in your game, and it's just bad. And once again, it just boils down to a simple fact. The playability of this game is not there currently right now at the standard that it should be to keep players engaged. If you're not engaged in the 10 or 15 or 20 minute game that you're playing, you're not going to engage in the store. You're not going to want to engage in the game, because the playability, the feel of the game, and the feel that where like you can find where you might want to improve in your game is completely gone, because you're fighting against the game. The bugs in the game are more of a challenge than the players you're playing against. So you don't know if you're that bad or if you're actually that good. And then when they do alter and do some good changes, players who thought they were really good at the game, and it was probably due to some of the issues in the game helping them along the way, depending where they are, find out there's been a patch, and now all of a sudden they're having problems because they're not killing the way they should, and they're not having the same measure of success that they had in certain games. And now other players are, and this is the problem when the game gets off to a bad start. And it's just a massive issue because this game has potential in spades, and I really want it to survive. As much as people say stop hating on it, I'm not hating on this game, I'm just calling out the facts. It's nothing got to do with the game or the principle of the game. It's to do with Ubisoft and the lack of dedication to having a functional game put out on time. They didn't, they rushed it, and Ubisoft as a whole is suffering from that with Star Wars Outlaws, Xdefiant, and now Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's purely down to that company, and I do really feel bad for the developers at Xdefiant. It's really bad, and it's really hard to see because there's a great game in here. But look, that's all from me, guys, and I will catch you on the next one.